well, watch your head.
Your name isn't Jay Leno, is it?
What?
Your name isn't Jay Leno, is it?
No. I got a picture of Jay looking at one of my cars.
Do you really?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Do you have just running machines, one of your subcontractors?
No. We do almost everything here. We do some die casting outside and you know, all the foundry work, we don't do any of that here. And we don't do any injection molding. That's done. Vision Plastics over in Tualatin's the biggest supplier of mold.
Before we get too dispersed here, what's the basis for the cars that you've chosen to be here?
Okay,
You had some of the cars in your youth, but what's the basis?
I'll just tell you a little bit about all the cars. The first car that I went to high school is back there under my rod shop sign, which is a 28 Chev.
Is that your original sign there?
That's the original sign. Now, going off to college, and there's pictures by the cars, and you'll see it back there by the Model A. It was kind of my next car of interest because I had a 36 Ford, like this one right here under the V8 sign, but my parents insisted that I get rid of it and take a Model A to school. Now go to Oregon State and try to be cool in a beat-up old pickup like that. But when it came homecoming, it would hold a case of beer and a little bit. So I was real active on the roof bonfire. And so spring term came, and I had ants in my pants, or something was bothering me down there, and I had to get a cool car for girls. And I bought that car, the white one, for $500 from a neighbor. And that was a Portland Rose Festival Queen car in 1939. Now, again, parents intercede and say, get rid of that car because it had a big 51 Lincoln engine like sitting right there by the Coke machine. And remember, I built manifolds for that engine and stuff, and there's stories about the car. And the little red pickup here, the reason for it is I had one extra manifold, so I built a car around the manifold to show off the manifold. And so parents said, you need a car for that new baby and all to go back to Mississippi to pilot training. So the green car is the baby hauler, and there's a picture of the baby down there with Joanne and I. And so that kind of takes care of it. Well, there's a Model T over here, and you say, what's that for? Well, as a freshman, I built this T Coupe, and that's a picture in 1952 of me standing by it at the Portland Auto Show. Mm-hmm. And we get a lot of dental assistants and doctors here. We had 3 groups yesterday. And these dental assistants, I'm looking at you ladies, I'm sorry. But these dental assistants, who are usually girls, don't know a damn thing about cars. And they say, where did that come from? Well, I figure a picture is worth 1,000 words. A car is worth 10,000 words. It was one of those back there in the corner that's been chopped and channeled and made into a hot rod. So that's why that is a replica of the car I built in '52. This is to show off the manifold. This car is because I always wanted one of these as a college student. These 2 belong to our son. This is our daughter-in-law's car and his car.
Then you got crazy and got a Healey.
That's his son's car.
I'm not that crazy. I've had to go rescue him so damn many times. But I also have to be rescued in my MG. So that takes care of everything but the 32, and you just got to have a 32 because that's Henry Ford's first V8, and it's really neat. So that kind of puts T, Model A, 32, 36 because I had one, 37 because I painted it, 39 because Joanne and I dated and married and raced it at Bonneville Salt Flats. Got to have something to show people that there were better cars in 29 than just the Model Ts and Chevys. So there's a 29 Lincoln that I stumbled on for a bargain price. It's going to be part of the hotel for weddings. And this is going to be open on, like, Northwest Natural Gas is having a board meeting, and they wanted to know if they could come visit the cars. And so they said there would be a fee, and that fee goes to the Car and Motorcycle Museum in Brooks. So they'll give the money directly to them. I don't need that money. So you know about the 53, and then I started wanting real Model T, so my first Model T was a depot hack. But before that, in sequence, I think some of the cars came before, but I always wanted a Big Mac, I always wanted a truck. So the fire truck was first, the Big Mac log truck was second. I convinced Joanne that I needed to build a Shell oil tanker because Dad worked for Shell when I was born. That worked pretty good. The Jaguar would have been the car of choice after ADEC was making good money. Remember we started ADEC in '64, moved to Newburgh in '65, and in 2 years we were really growing and doing well. And then I've always had a need for speed, and that's falling in love with a Gilmore first. And then a guy had the Model T. They're both first place concourse winners at Forest Grove. So I didn't have to do anything to them. And then the midget shows off the V860 engine. And I'm making manifolds for all the Ford flathead V engines that Ford ever made. So I'm building Lincoln V12 manifolds, Lincoln V8 manifolds, Ford 60 manifolds, and 85 horsepower. And I only build stuff that nobody else builds. So, in other words, I'm not competing with anybody. I'm kind of the last resort. I gotta come up for air.
Is that a side in your dental business?
I don't work in the company anymore.
Okay, you have your own shop for doing this.
At home. And then there's a shop next door. You're open to go in the shop, the restoration shop. And then I didn't do well in school, and I didn't do well in collecting cars because I didn't even know Ford built cars before the Model T. I really didn't. I didn't know that he had a Model A and that whole alphabetical soup before the T. And this is a Model S, which is the brass one in the middle. And before the S came the Model K, which is in the corner. And that's the only original Model K unrestored in the world. And I bought it at an auction, and nobody bid on it. And again, it was a bargain. It's tripled in its value since we had it.
Wow.
And we were invited to take it down to Pebble Beach, and I was dumbfounded to get to go. I didn't get to go because Joanne had open heart surgery, and we stayed home. But they took the car. My mechanic took the car down, and there's a picture of Jay Leno standing, a little picture on the wall behind it. And I wish I would have been there to hear his comments, but he thought, first of all, Fords don't get invited to concourse. And this is a 6-cylinder Ford. And Henry Ford fought every moment of building the cars. They started building Touring, which were, like the cars, a 4-door, a 4 or 6 passenger. And he took a Touring, and that is the touring car that was taken and chopped up and made into a roadster. So it is the prototype roadster, and if you look at it, it's chock full of holes, 2 different colors, but the judges and everybody agree that this is the car that's written about, that existed after. Henry Ford wanted it back for the museum, he never got it. And that's the original 103-year-old top on it. You can sit in any of the cars for pictures but that one. They're all our drivers, including that one. I do a lot with praise. If, the Rotary, I see a Rotarian or 2 here today. Congratulations, I'm a Rotarian. And we help the Rotary Club, we help the Chamber of Commerce, we help the Fire Department. And high school kids have used these for homecoming, Queen and Cork, and both St. Paul's School and Newburgh schools. And so it's just a fun thing to share with people, and I'm just glad that you came out and that we can share this with you. And you're open to go see the shop and say, when you get towards the end of the thing, I'll just a small enough group, when you get wound down and you all want to go see the hotel room, we'll just walk down the outside to the door to the hotel room.
Well, thanks for taking your time.
Oh, you're sure welcome. And the little back room is my living history room, where it starts with me as a child and goes around the room until you come out at the end, and then you start off with the cars. So.
And when did you graduate from OSC or OSU?
OSC in 1953.
My brother-in-law graduated civil there, he was 52, so. No, high school, so he would have been there 56.
Yeah.